So I made the following video last week and I'm going to let it play and then I'm going to come back to you guys with my updated feelings. Also, before I get into my calls, so for my creative writing class, I've been writing all semester and we don't have a final, but our teacher wants us to put together a writing portfolio, and she was telling us that we should separate it either by genre or by unique voice. And when she first told it to us before the Easter break, I was like, I think I could probably separate my work by the voice. But I talked to her about it today, and I said, I feel like I have a unique voice, but I really don't even know how to describe it because I don't think too deeply about the things I say or how I come across when I say the things that I say. And her response to me was, Neira, you have such a strong, assertive voice in everything that you write, no matter what the topic is. And I was like, oh. But the other side of that is like, ma'am, that I don't know if that helped me when it comes to deciding what works I'm going to actually use for my portfolio. But I think it's something for me to explore. Like, how do I want my work to be perceived by other people? Because I never really thought about it. I think I get so caught up on all the ideas I have that don't always get out, that when I do finally get things out, I just don't think that deeply into it. I'm just happy that I did it, that I followed through on an intuitive nudge or a creative idea, because a lot of times we sleep on ourselves, and we don't move as quickly as we should. And so I've been a victim to that as a creative, and I think that a lot of people can relate. But I don't know, I'm gonna have to think about it. What do y'all think about it? I'd be interested to know your thoughts. So anybody that has been following me for a really long time, that has listened to my podcast, purchased my ebook or my digital course that I did, or you just follow my content, because even in my captions, I can be a little wordy at times, or like, for instance, this Instagram story that's 5 minutes long now. And so I had to do African American literature homework a couple of days after I had this exchange with my creative writing teacher. And we're in the second volume of our anthology for African American literature. And I ran across this in a section called the vernacular. It makes up a rich storehouse of materials wherein values, styles, and character types of Black American life are reflected in language that is highly energized and often marvelously eloquent. Ralph Ellison and Toni Morrison have argued that vernacular art accounts to a large degree for the Black American's legacy of self-awareness and endurance. For Black performers and listeners, as well as readers, it has often served the classical function of teaching as it delights, refusing to subscribe wholly to the white American's ethos and worldview. African Americans expressed in these vernacular forms their own ways of seeing the world, its history, and its meaning. The vernacular comprises, Ellison said, nothing less than another instance of humanity's triumph over chaos. In it, experiences of the past are remembered and evaluated. Through it, African Americans attempt to humanize an often harsh world, and to do so with honesty, with toughness, and often with humor. And when I think about my writing, like my teacher said, it doesn't matter the prompt, it doesn't matter the type of writing it is, whether it's poetry or personal narrative, or fiction or nonfiction. The way I write is expressed through the African American vernacular. And I have a unique way that I look at the world because I am a Black woman. I am a millennial. I am a mother. I am divorced. There's so many layered life experiences at 37 that I have encountered. But when I think about the language I use, the vulgarity that people may say that I use, all of this is a part of how I choose to tell stories, and how I choose to tell stories are the epitome of African American vernacular. And so reading this made me so much more confident, happy, and grounded in how I choose to express myself as a writer, how I choose to tell stories, because it's who I am. It's just who I am. And I understand that my writing is not going to be for everyone. Some people may look at the language or the subject matter as being offensive or too much. I don't make my art for those types of people. I make my art for people that understand that this is how I see the world. And I'm very, very grateful because this really unlocked something for me. And I don't need the validation. I don't need the approval of anyone. I am self-assured, self-aware, and self-approved. And with that being said, make sure you subscribe to my YouTube channel, Just Ask the GOAT. Follow my podcast, Just Ask the GOAT. And also subscribe to my Substack, Neira the G.O.A.T, if you want to follow more of my writing. Thank you.